Welcome back everyone to the channel. This is going to be my review of one of my favorite games, Dune Imperium. Now this one is produced by Legendary and designated by Paul Dennen. Let's open the box up and have a look. Alright, you've got all the rule books and board, and this is an expansion piece. I've got all the expansions for this game because it's one of my favorites. This is that expansion as well. Move this over here and set this right here. Now, first part of setup, I'll just go through that quickly, is we're going to set up the board. There we go. Now, the expansion boards, I believe they cover, I can't remember exact, oh, this one sits to the side here, I think. And this one, is this, I don't think this is for this game, I'll just have a quick look. I don't think that piece is actually for this game. I don't know what that's for. All right, now this game, you'll have 4 players. You'll be playing as either the green players, which are the Atreides, the yellow, which are the Fremen, the red, which are the Harkonnens, or the other color. Or else you've got the blue. Now this is the Corrinos. So let's just imagine I was going to play a 2-player game just for this example. I would choose maybe the Fremen, the Atreides, and I'd get all the green pieces out of the box. Green pieces. So you'd get green pieces, and then let's say I'm playing against the Harkonnens. All right, so these pieces, the other player colors, they can just go back in the box. All right, so we're going to look for the red pieces now, the red Harkonnen pieces. So I've got here the Atreides pieces and the Harkonnen pieces. The next step is you're going to take your little counter here. It looks like this. It has a little sword on it, one for the Harkonnens too. And the first thing you're going to do is put these over here on the victory point, well, not the victory point, but the victory condition track. Because your goal here is to go from Fremen to Emperor. And the way that works is throughout the game, you'll be gaining influence. So let's say the Harkonnen gain influence, they'd move up. And they'd start slowly taking over the Fremen. All right, and when they get to the top here, they now run the Fremen. They're the boss of the Fremen. And once they're at that stage, they can graduate into the Bene Gesserit. And they'll move up and up, take over the Bene Gesserit, take over the Spacing Guild, and then keep moving up until they become the top level, they become the Emperor. And that's when you've won the game. This part of the board here is for the resources. So what you're gonna have is spice, for example. So we grab the spice tokens out. So here's kind of what it would look like. You have your different resources in these different resource spaces. You've got your spice, your money, your water drops, and your family atomics. These are very powerful. You're also going to want to choose a character that your team is going to play. So the Atreides, for example, let's pick one out here. I'll go this one. The Atreides will use this character to be their leader, and the Harkonnen will use, we'll just pick random, this one to be their leader. And each leader is going to have a special ability, which is listed here on the card. Now, I've seen some of these nice drone shots that other board game review channels do, so I'm going to try and set up for one of those. All right, the next step, we're going to be putting our figures on this track. Hang on.
Jim, what are you doing? I thought you were in here looking for a job.
This is my job, Sharon. I review board games on YouTube.
Oh, you're joking. I thought you wanted to support your family and all I'm
Sharon! Okay, sorry about that. What was I saying? The next step is you're going to be putting your tokens on this track here, because as you move up this track, you're going to get to the end and then get to go on this track back this way, right? So it's kind of like a relay race. You've got this will make it to the end here, and this will then start going this way. And here's how you collect these green cubes. See these green cubes? That's how you collect those, and the scarabs. Now this is primarily a card game, right? So we'll grab the cards out of the box here, and we'll make a deck. So what we need to do is shuffle all these cards together. Just as many. Right, and the deck will sit right here on the highliner space. Now, each of these spaces out here on the board is associated with a specific card. So what will happen is, at the start of each round, a card will be drawn and placed out in these card spaces. All right, so this is here. And you can see that as you place them out, for example, like this, these card spaces here get covered, and then the cost of the card is here. All right, so if you wanted to get this card, you'd have to spend a cube and whatever that is. And for this card, you need to give up a card and a cube. Whereas for this card, for the Kwisatz Haderach card, you'd need to spend a spice plus one of your sandworms. All right, and this one here for the voice, you need to spend 2 spice and one of your sandworms. And the players will go back and forth, vying for these cards, using the abilities on the cards, using the abilities on their characters, moving up this track here, the expansion track, ultimately to increase their influence all the way up until they reach the rank of Emperor. All right, and so there we have it, Dune Imperium. As I said, one of my favorite games. I don't know what I can say that hasn't already been said, but for me, this is a 10 out of 10 game. My rating, though, does have to drop down to a 9 out of 10 because I lost the rule books for the expansions. So I kind of know how to play with them, but not really. But because of the amount of content in this box, just the amount of cards and the tokens and all this stuff, I think that brings it back up to a 10 out of 10. So that's my final verdict for Dune Imperium, 10 out of 10.